Hello, Magma Pixies. My name is Jade Gatato, and I'm coming with a reading about off-planet energy that we have been associating and affiliating ourselves to as a collective over the last week or two. So with the torrential downpour of expectation acquired by leaders in various party affiliates that want to impeach or um, kowtow to the traditional aspects of our society, we have the ability to gain access to orbital research and or um, societal research through the planets and how our core can communicate with it. So, oop, now let me look. Okay, I think this phone's actually dead. Okay, never mind. But currently, our sun in Aquarius is at 21 degrees. And Aquarius season is almost to an end. Valentine's Day is in a couple days. We have a fortunate. Oh, I shuffled these backwards. Hold on, let me fix the deck. I'm going to be using the Fortuna Tarot Opal Edition. I am an October baby, so um, that is my birthstone. For those of you who don't know what birthstones are, those are just corresponding affiliate stones that have been assigned to specific months based off of the familiarity that those stones bring to that time of year. How it was birthed, they didn't have a cycle. There's no cyclical fashion how one stone can transpire and affect the following stone. These things are mostly just um, independent qualities of the participation that those months offer to the tiding of that stone. Okay, so I'm gonna stop shuffling now. So Magma Pixies, let's see what the research is. Okay. So we are home here currently. So I'm going to be doing a spread reading based off of the core of the planet that we are residing on. Currently off planet. Some of us may be, but as the reader goes, this is where I'm presenting the information from. Um, so for the start, our present and upper atmosphere, atmospheric depiction of our identity, qualifies us to think back and resemble upon the King of Keys. Yes, King of Keys. This new deck enlightens us to think about the opportunities that follow after this gate has been opened. There's no further research to be made upon the depiction and depictive descriptions of what this door provided you. So to enter in is almost like this King of Keys, this King of Swords, is relating a lot to the familiar tarot of the Six of Swords. You're moving on to a new chapter. You have the ability to continue to look forward and participate in planetary conversations that are not here and familiar to you, or familiar to this hearkened core. Now, the bedrock of your experience for the Magma Realm is the Three of Elixirs. So there's a lot of supportive energy here. It feels like this is hearkening and uplifting a voice of your specific group and title holder that requires the relinquishment of like the stable access that you uh, gained upon like the prospect to the energy of the recent present. So there's someone that you may know among your group that you feel as though is enriching the spotlight, and this is a time of celebration, but it's also like the elixir is about obtaining, not abstaining, like aggregosing, like upward, and your standard is to remain relevant to party affiliates that you had been a part of before, and not like find ways to yeah, find like to not find ways to um get lost among like other familiarities in the environment of the magma realm. Like you have to stand with the fact that like your keys can be given accidentally to other people, and then like they have the ability to manipulate the potential outcomes of your future just by using it and speaking it with the heart. Um, so it's like it's not a time of secrecy. It's a time of like with the Five of Keys. This is a time of like re-access to that um like you're what the worst part of this is affiliating with like the Five of Swords going forward from like the Five of Keys, is that you're potentially saying like this room is not open to you anymore. We're becoming like a private entity. And like you have to think about the different ways that you explain this to the other party without in correlating or encroaching upon them, or like making it look as though their resources are being reprimanded. Like it's like you're sort of like abstainment from their party participation doesn't remove anything from them. It's like you're taking upon yourself your own time limit. Um so let's see. Now, the Queen of Talismans defines like the general collective of the mind in the magma realm. So the Queen of Talismans comes through with energy of the assimilated factors. Um, as far as like the symbols go, you can see them at the top. Um, Now, your access for each other is reliant upon the history of your faction, your group, your. It's like the escapade upon the like um dream or desire that like you're designing for the future of the collective um needs to be maintained by your history with whatever party or culture you were part of. This isn't like the Queen of Talismans is not about adorning yourself with other things. These are things that are naturally given to you as birthright, especially when we're talking about the magma realm. It's like you'll be walking around with things that were meant for you, that you may not even know are applicable to like doors that you're gaining access to. And let's see. Um, yeah, the bedrock of the Magma Collective, we're experiencing the Seven of Chalices in reverse. So I think what's going on is, maybe we needed to be known that this Five of Keys needed to come through today to sync to co- corroborate like the sacrificial like memento to become like a path owner of your life, and not worry so much about the forthcomings of other people into the dreams that they have and how your key can unlock paths in their world. Like if you're like a collaborator, and it's your thought process is to obtain keys, and then without consent or concept, like infiltrate the future plan and desire or dream of preceding the predecessor of that realm. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, it's like, what the future of that is and where it's rooted to, as far as like the gross income of those like um potential allies have become with, like it's no. You know that that cup is theirs in the future, and it's like specifically like telling you like in spirit that like that cup is saved for like a specific time and like personage, and has nothing to do with you. And you end up like saying, you know what, I'm going to take my key and gain access to this level of intuition that it's like, we speak a language of competition here as far as like business goes, and it's like we have like laws against insider trading and all of those facets of like becoming wealthy through the potential decisions that like outside competition will make to further gain access to more income for yourself, as far as like what potential deals you may make in the future. um, we're very careful about that here. So like as far as like where those dreams go, as far as off planet goes, um, you have to continue to assume that like, and trust the process of attainment that isn't yours. Like usually you can tell like, hey, that there's no reason for this to be here. The standards of living, like as far as like where this planet resides, and there's like you have like astrally envisioned like a house on Venus or something like that, and it's like, well, there's no reason for this house to be there. It hasn't been terraformed. There haven't been like actual like institutional um bodies of like resource to provide access to that kind of stable affordability. So it's like, why is this here? How am I supposed to stand on this rock without impeding upon that thing? Um, and like, um, let's see. As far as the mind for Magma Pixies go, we have the Queen of Elixirs in reversed. Um, this like leaves us with a attainment like malfunction among like what you're unable to provide to gain the healing necessary to be maintenance. um your like foreseeable desire among like this is the king of elixirs in reversed. It's like you have like lack of like cultural fortune and like resource to assimilate. Um so like now with the queen of elixirs in reverse, it's like these people like if they're not trying to come up to you and welcome you, they're not trying to come up to you and foresee things about you that like you already know about yourself, but they like think about potential outcomes. Like this five of keys came through, and it's like we're not talking to any of you at the moment. Um, and like so, you've been having to take care of yourself and your own desires. Seeing all of the potential things that like the seven of cups, the seven elixirs provides you, like is with like all these dreams that continue to be made in a water prolific like artistic communication factor for yourself. Like it's like where does yeah like there's been a lot of arguing going along in the collective over the last like week or so. So like we're designing like a lot of like you know things that are like associated with the fears of the prospect of our present day. Like as far as like we're magma affiliated, like the magma pixies are going to make deals and associations to things based off of the coordinates of their immune system, their nervous system, their biological health and well-being and mental care. So they can't step upon like new areas of life that would jeopardize or not maintain that for the other party. Meaning themselves like on Earth. You know what I mean? So like um very touchy collective over the last week. We haven't been moving very much. We have to make sure that we keep tabs on our well-being. But as far as like spirit goes, like this queen of cups has been very harsh. Like her being in reverse, like not in touch with even her own planet. It's like making investments into stock prices that like affect the future, the possibility that they may attain like billions of years from now that aren't applicable or gain access to um, the society that they are currently a part of. It's very frustrating, like to know that you're a part of a society that continues to like beget like the ability for you to gain access to a world, and then you leave going like, you know what, I just want to start from scratch all over again. And like we gotta wait another 200 billion years before there's another happening, and then like you have to wait another few billion years before your society even gets there. But like these people, you can tell, are not like happy or even familiar with a sense of time. With the seven of chalices coming in reversed, it's like they're making investments based off of tangible needs that they're getting lost in. They're like there's a form of mind there because they have like an affiliate to like desire or necessary aspect of what they think they'll need in the future, but it's lost amongst the ability to recognize that they are even existing. Like the king of elixirs like can't give a cup to a digestional system that cannot um digest the information that has been given to them. So their accessibility to like being familiar to the quality and qualifier like um quaff. Why am I thinking about quaffs right now? Like particle matter and stuff like that. Like um I don't know, like these people may like be beholden to communities specifically, so they may be gaining net like resources for the attainment of those like groups in the future. But there's a king of elixirs who like has the ability to bestow and grant like additional knowledge if people are willing to take time and meditate upon those things, so that they can have their awakening here on the planet without like the need of outside intervention. Our media has the ability to provide us with information based off of the algorithm that has been designed and the ability that it gains for itself, um, as far as its familiarity to you. So like with the King of Elixirs, that's not who the King of Elixirs is. The King of Elixirs is not the algorithm that will bestow that stuff into you. Like it, the King of Elixirs is the outside like participant party that tells you of the like special access to power in spirit that you can eventually happen upon amongst yourself, even in your own daily thought. Like the meditation that the King of Elixirs will provide to you upon the meditation that your spirit is willing to participate and practice in is the ability to take a step or rotate like upon your like perspective to where you like think your way out of a knot that is a part of your soul like or mental block and untie itself. Like you suddenly go through a different thing and it's like, whoa, I thought about this thing that helps me tremendously upon the like recollection or tact that like the ability that needed to be there had been. Like so now I have the ability to function a little bit better, have more peace about my day, move access to specific groups of parties or affiliates that like gave a fortunate outcome to a potential vision that was meant to be made for like the collective of Earth. Like as far as the Seven of Chalices goes in reverse, these were investments that were made off planet that like we had seen like ability and affiliation to like maybe things that were remnant of this society. So like the King of Chalices doesn't provide you with those things. Those were the souls of the people that lived here. The King of Chalices is a little bit bigger. The King of Elixirs is a bigger than that. Like, um, so like realize that like when you're dealing with trade of that function, of a assortment of deals or monologuing, like or monologuing is like the base word, but you can also talk about like no, I guess spirit doesn't want me to say anything further about that, but like internal monologues of repeating the same message over and over again to create a mantra for themselves. It's like those are signs that are easy to be recognized, but also understand the fact that those mantras, whenever you assimilate into those patterns of like harmony and humming, like you aren't accessing the freedom that the King of Elixirs would provide. Like your participation among that mantra will stifle like your path, because especially if you're new in the realm, your party affiliate, like it does what it will do for itself. It can't provide you with the further access to like a sizable like fortune that they keep for themselves. Like this is a hierarchy that they stay among into that world. That hierarchy like can't stop the end up with the fact that like it doesn't know who these new souls are, basically. um so with that, like that's why a lot of like the battling that's been going on is like people had keys that had access to these functions and they were either left behind or there was a yeah, and like suddenly their access to these rooms don't work anymore, and then they have to like fortunate have like the ability to maintain or apply to have the same affiliate mantra among themselves and create a new order for themselves as far as the keys that they've attained for themselves. It's a very like lost time at the moment in the magma realm. Um, so the three of chalices, like as we talked about earlier in the video, like you're experiencing a society vision at the moment where people are uplifting the party participation of a specific person, and people are relinquishing accountability and giving it to that a party affiliate. Um, Now this isn't like a political party. This could be a like practitioner of a specific study or mind think that has the ability to give people access to what they want. As far as like research goes, like the piece that they want, the material gains that they want, the yeah, it's very like dysfunctional among like the party that they have like designed amongst itself. Like it's like I'm doing this like kind of thing. So with the King of Keys coming through with the mind of like the core at the moment, the King of Keys like talks about at the moment like the infinite familiarity that it has to itself and its ability to give like um different like memories or different like this is about like fortunate outcomes that may impede on social stigma and standard upon the shared world that you live in at the moment for the magma realm. Our like history, like we get to repeat many aspects of our history as our freedom desire, like in particular parts of the world. Some people like don't share those aspects of their culture. They maintain like a utility to the society to maintain like a social identifier for themselves. It's like something that they do for the caretaking of themselves and not affiliating with outside perspectives. But like there are parts of the world that like will still give the people who maintain that sort of statement amongst themselves to practice that traditional identity over and over again. But like it gives them a new experience as far as trade will go, as far as it can go. Like if we repeat like specific aspects of history, redefine like social cues and all of this stuff, this changes the experience for those people as well, because they have to like figure out like what new things you're gonna give them. Like it's you have to work with what you're given. So the King of Keys talks about the ability for um like the cycle of tradition to even remain the same but experience change and adaptability. Um so um now I want to say that as far as like what we need in the magma realm, um it's remembering a lot of the factors of which like your practice has been a like stumbling block upon itself. Like sometimes it's like you move yourself into a new world without expecting it to happen, and then like you suddenly have been adorned with things that had not transpired for you positionally, but because you are participant in the effective location of a specific like lifestyle group or religious party, like they assign these things to you in order for you to be recognizable to them. So it's like it's very like like some people do that. Um, but it's like this is happening in spirit. The Magma Pixies probably already know about it, unless they're going about it blindly, and like not revoking the power that those attunements have, but completely foregoing the fact that they're not going to use it to impede in the process of like using it to gain further access, like their memory upon like the um like I'm not trying to like attain something that isn't mine. Like I'm stepping upon like the ground that I'm able to gain with the access to the knowledge or familiar tunes that I've been born in through. Like some things, like as far as birthright goes, this is very familiar. Like this conversation is very familiar to birthright, as far as like what we can revoke from other people and revoke access to those spaces from other people is because it wasn't a birthright given to them. This isn't about eldest. This isn't about like property. This is about like I level through this experience. I learn the power of these keys, atoning, and language, language that this life has given me, and I let's see, let me think. Um, um, because that's what I've been trying to touch on upon, like with the Queen of Talismans. Like as far as like adornment goes, it's like the birthright and what the like ability to remember like specific things about like your culture like are supposed to be familiar to you. Um does that make sense? I think like if I need to explain it further, like I'll probably make another video on it. But like um it's like because of what you know about like ugh, it's so confusing. Probably because I grew up Mormon. Like Mormons and birthright is a little different. Like, and it's like not to say you're born again when you're baptized, but it's like after you become baptized in the Mormon Church, like you familiarly like become further um familiar and knowledgeable upon like from for um trepidations that like that accountability presides for you. So it's like your birthright is like whenever we talk about it in that sense, the things that you like are required to use to like um maintain the stability of like the group that you're a part of. Um and like I don't know, things that are outside of like church related aspects, you're talking about like uh, like clubs and like titles in those clubs that give you like specific powers or duties or responsibilities. Sports as far as those go, like your birthright as far as it comes to like your participation in a sport is to maintain a ring or trophy or like aspect of that ability. Like your affiliation, like a participation trophy is still legitimate because it's your birthright to the affiliation of that group. It's like it's like you're a title holder for that year of their organization. Um and like that can lose value depending on the tightness that that group maintains amongst itself. Um, and there are many other ways that we can go into birthright, but it doesn't have to do with like being the eldest and fortunate at obtaining like a fortunate family like access that like yeah it's not like conducive enough to provide anything. Like it doesn't. It's just a vault. Like, like your birthright is access to the family vault and pride of ownership. Um when it comes to like stuff like that, like when birthright is concerned. Um so like remember like the things that like you know the lines that are being drawn to remove access for people who are part of those things, like if that is the case, they have to learn to have the ability to gain access to that again through the repentant process of honoring the boundaries that you have set and not maintaining affiliation to that particular group, by literally like making sure that they keep their keys separate from the to the goals, aspiration, and vision of the party of today, the Magma Pixie. Um, so maintain all of those in regard to like decisions that you'll be making, especially in spirit. They may remember you. Like it's just like um, a specific title to what we're doing now. Like that is different. Um, and society changes, and sometimes we have to let the like people who are not a part of like the society anymore, as far as like the mind goes, like the brain communal. Like they're not like their soul still exists, but they don't have like the definitions that our mind conscious defines itself as. So like we have to like let people know, let the soul know that our standard of living is not the same as the way it was before that they had been in. And we're like a party that will like continue to make a stand and continue to make those communications to that party. Um like it's like I don't know, and the access to that is like they still maintain the fruit to like want to fight and participate further among that like previous past. And like I don't know who they're doing it for, like, but it's just um it's not a very like their attunement of what it means to like maintain that society for themselves, for the access of that soul to return, like doesn't maintain like the practicality necessary for the wellness of other people. um and like they want to continue to play party time and have tea amongst themselves and forget about like the dream access that they um can also be a part of. um So, upon that, I hope you guys have a good time in the Magma Realm. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a safe return. And I will see you next time.